the most important starting place for curiosity when we're doing it right is to model exactly what you just did. You heard what I said, and then you reacted to something that I said.
Okay.
That's the number one starting place. So when I talk about questions, you don't just write a list of questions, ask the question, the person gives you an answer, you write it down, you go on to the next thing. That's what researchers do. But they're trying to, a good researcher is not trying to get into the relationship because they don't want to cloud the responses. We're actually trying to do the opposite. We're trying to build a relationship with the people around us.
Yeah.
So we want to invest and say, oh, I like this, or I heard this, tell me more about that. So I'll give you a great example of what we want to do, why I'm saying it's not the first question, it's the second and the third and the fourth question. So everyone listening right now, we're early in the year, and I could say to you, hey, what's that big vacation that you've got planned for this summer? Okay, so I don't know, Whitney, maybe you've got one, but just make up one if you don't. What's something you got planned? What's a vacation or holiday or something that you might want to do later this year?
Let's go to Montana.
Let's go to Montana. Great. Okay, excellent. All right, so I asked the question of
is that where the buffalo
vacation.
are?
What?
Aren't there buffalo in Montana?
Yeah, I think there's buffalo in Montana.
That's what I want to go see.
Okay, Whitney wants to go
On
see
a
buffalo.
farm. All the buffalo. Okay, yes.
All right, so
I needed to build it.
I asked the question, what's a vacation place you want to go to? You said Montana. I got this thing for buffalo. There's probably therapy for that, by the way, Whitney. Well, but we'll talk about that later. So now at this point, I'm actually I can't check the box off that I'm curious. So I want to be clear. Just because I asked that one question doesn't mean I'm curious.
Okay.
At this point, a little decision tree pops up. I can either now be curious, or I can say what I think is the worst phrase in the modern American language. Good for you. You want to kill curiosity and kill any conversation?
Yeah.
Use good for you. Because what good for you really says is, you seem really interested in that. I could care less about Montana or buffaloes.
Or me, because that's what I would get that.
So let's talk about something I want to talk about. When people use that, it's typically because they don't know how to or don't want to engage in your answer, and it's almost dismissive, and they want to change the topic. Okay, good for you never yields like a rich conversation after it. Okay, so if I really want to be curious, then I would ask a follow-up question. Montana. Why Montana, Whitney? How'd you pick that place?
In all the pictures, it looks really remote and relaxing, and the sky is clear, and I think it'd be really great to have a cabin and watch some buffalo.
Have a cabin, watch buffalo. So
yes.
when you think of relaxing, what does relaxing mean to you?
No cell phone service.
Okay.
No cell phone service. And actually, I would dumb that down a little bit and take it, kind of hone it in. A cup of coffee in my hand, reading a book out on a porch.
In a beautiful scenic place
yes.
that's remote and kind of disconnected.
Yes.
Right? So you get this beautiful view, close to nature, coffee in your hand, book, quiet, peaceful.
Yes.
Other than the buffalo.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So hopefully everyone listening heard what I did there. You gave an answer, Montana. I asked more about Montana. Then you said relaxing. I was curious what you meant by that. So I said, what does relaxing mean to you? And then now I understand what you mean by relaxing. So now I learned a little bit more. Do you feel more heard or appreciated?
I do.
Okay. I hope that was a legitimate answer.
I felt like I could justify the buffalo.
The point is to listen to what people say and respond. So you're not thinking about what you want to say. You're listening to what they say, and you're saying, I'm curious about that. Tell me more about that. Okay, so, and that's a great way to build relationships, understand about another person. So you can learn more about their needs, their wants, their feelings. As I told you, I didn't grow up. I didn't get a lot of that. So it's how you can learn those things about another person. But you also just learn important information about that person by asking those follow-up questions. And it's not hard, and it doesn't take very long. The problem with us as type A personalities, particularly when we've been successful, is we get stuck in this hubris, this idea that, I'm successful because I'm super smart. I have all the answers to life. And so my assumptions aren't assumptions. They're actually fact. Why test it? So we never ask questions. We never get curious. I look at you and I go, well, this is somebody who would want to go on a bougie shopping trip. I don't really think that about you, but I would make up something about you and just assume That's truth, and then I'd move on.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, I wonder what her answer is. So it's suspending that. And curiosity is absolutely the key if we want to build connected, engaged relationships with our team members. Because asking the right questions, we can learn about what they're thinking, how to support them, where they want to go, how we can help them get there, all those things so they can feel supported and able to do the job we want them to do. It's critical for relationship building. We want to build relationships with peers. So you got other senior leaders, other vice presidents. We want to ask questions about their business, what they're working on, so we can learn how to pass the ball, help them be successful. And it's really, really critical in our personal relationships with our significant others, so we can learn more about them. And we constantly view them as a kind of a fun puzzle to solve, kind of a fun gift we get to open every day, versus something boring and static. I mean, we are people, we're complicated. We have lots of things we can learn about each other. So it helps us to build all those relationships.